YouTube. We have a new box. We're gonna open it right now. Ooh, it's kind of slick. Trying to be super secretive here since you already read the title and see a picture of the airplane, which by the way is before I've seen it. So I'm jealous. What do we have here? Oh, it's a Cessna 182 from FMS. Amazing. Oh, by the way, do not step on this box.
Oh.
No tossing. Handle with care, like catch it if you do toss it. It's fragile, keep dry, and upwards.
So it's Italian?
Yes, exactly. This is a licensed model. Oh, Cessna is a trademark of Textron Innovations, Inc. and used under license to Foshan Zhengji Model Technology.
That sounds like actually legitimately official.
Foshan Xinjiang, well, whatever it is. So that must be like FMS or I didn't think that's what FMS stood for. Doesn't seem to be the right number of letters. All right, guys, first things first, 2 colors, red and white or blue and white. I believe ours is blue and white.
I think so.
But the box has a red and white on the front.
There's a little blue and white one.
Yeah, but then here you can see the red and white. You see them? Mm-hmm. Did I show you this?
There's the red. Yep.
And here's the red and blue.
There's the blue. Yep.
Okay. So there's different finish levels, and then this has an all-new Reflex V2. 3. Excuse me.
Oh.
So we're gonna find out what that means.
Yes, we are.
We are still in the dark. We have one, but we couldn't talk about it yet. Still.
Well, we can now.
I guess.
It's been released.
It's been released?
Yes.
Oh, they released it already?
I'm just weirded out by the size of that box for a 1,500
I'm
airplane.
very weirded out, okay? Now, I just feel like this is gonna be like one of those planes that we have to glue and screw a lot of things. Oh, good Lord.
Because the fuse is not that short.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it just comes apart with clips like that.
Well, that would be nice.
So here's the thing, guys. We like FMS models. They're usually really nice. Oh, yes. This is marked as blue. I don't know if you already saw that.
Oh, there it is. I did.
Okay. Oh, look. That's a cool profile.
That is
3-bladed prop. Can't wait to see this. I love general aviation planes. It's kind of like my thing scale. General aviation planes are some of my favorites. Doesn't mean I'm not into warbirds or sailplanes or any of that stuff, or VTOLs or leaf blowers. I am also into those things, but I am mostly into a unfolded manual. Thank you, FMS.
People will be so happy for you.
Yes, seriously. I get all excited about the stupidest things. And yet, that's why you watch Brian Phillips RC. And if you want to support Brian Phillips RC, look no further than the links in the video description below. That's very light. Thin sidewall, carbon fiber.
Not a very big rod.
Right and left.
Oh, they're labeled. That was nice of them.
Yeah, and they're actually both.
That
That's
means we have
nice.
both of them.
That's better than the last
Yeah.
J3 Cub. Okay, so there's a wing. Holy cow, look at that. We don't have to put the ball links on. Wish the plastic
Why does
matched
that not
better.
match? Yeah.
Oh, wow, there's a quick release. Oh, and there's a serial DB9. That is cool. I am trying to figure out how this works. It says off, on, off, on. You see that? Off, on. I don't know.
Like take it off, put it on? What's off and on mean?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I guess.
But then if you look at the wingtips, we have LEDs and probably a strobe and beautiful scale details and smooth wing and the rivets.
Rivets, yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. So far so good. I'm getting excited. I'm excited about how it's gonna look. I'm a little nervous about decals after having pulled that out. So far so good. We haven't had to do any assembly yet.
Sweet, that's my favorite. Hey, there's a little tiny rod in here. Don't forget that.
Here, would you get it up for me?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. Just dig your fingers in and force it out. So I just want to talk about my balls here for a second. My ball links. Do you guys want to look with me?
Happy they're installed.
Look at the ball link on that. Isn't that weird? So it's gonna go like this and push the flap out, which that is, oh, it is a Fowler flap. Look at that, see that? That's so cool. So it's gonna pull down and away. FMS, outdoing yourself here. Okay, so we've got these here, unpainted foam. I don't care, some people do. I think it looks just fine, and I just soon save the weight.
Right.
But some people get a little bit butthurt about that, and if that's you, then, you know, I'm sorry that it hurts. You can use some painkiller or,
I was
you know.
going to suggest a smaller rod.
Oh, wonderful. That's perfect, guys. All right, so we're gonna cut this, and it's gonna probably come straight off the top, but I gotta be careful about this. You guys see that? There's plastic in there. So you gotta be careful not to push the tape into it. All right, so I don't know if this comes straight off the top. I think it does. Yes. Holy cow!
Wow.
That is like really efficiently packaged.
That is
Look at this, guys. I bet they
really
spent
weird.
more on engineering the packaging
Than the
than
plane.
they did on the plane. Because I gotta say, this is a 1,500 millimeter plane.
Yeah.
And no joke.
Are they squishy? They don't look like Oh, you can't have it all.
No.
You got ball links or squishy tires.
Ooh, yes, we have a painted.
Painted.
Wow, beautiful. Love it.
Nice.
What's the size?
11.6.
11.6, okay, cool. If you could just read that top line.
We might have checked. We're not sure.
Chinese throwing star. Boy,
Circle.
I feel like a virgin. Touched for the very first time.
We're only
Look at
6
this.
minutes in. This
Wow,
is not good.
that is chrome.
It's really pretty.
Amazing chrome. And it's painted plastic, just so you guys know. So when I said chrome, total lie.
It's chrome.
Yeah, but I don't know.
finish.
Is this
it,
like
painted
snapped on there?
together?
I can't tell.
Ooh.
See if you can figure that out. I'm kidding. You're not going to figure
I
it out.
don't want to break
you
it.
to.
Yeah.
Look at my sack. Show the people.
That's a big sack.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
There's
in it.
not very many screws in it.
But
though.
I gotta say, guys, I'm like really amazed. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I'm excited now. Okay, we're gonna lay this here. I'm just going in order, folks. Relax. Oh, that is really pretty. That is really pretty. What's this FMS?
It's for.
I'm just kidding.
No, whatever.
I know what it is, but there are 2 wires, okay?
Oh.
So I'm assuming it is still removable and looks like a screw-in sort of configuration. There's your problem right
Yeah.
there. The second half of the plane came off.
I see it.
Plastic.
Tail light.
Oh yeah! White light, hopefully. Seagull. Do they not understand what an N number is in China?
Maybe it's a.
China, listen.
C
it's
number.
It's an N number. N. Okay,
don't
all
have
right.
that
We're just
letter.
gonna keep going. The nose gear also. Oh, wow.
Wow,
That
that's-
is really stiff.
Landing a real plane on that?
What the heck? Is that a strut? No, for reals. Look, watch how slow it
know.
goes. Is that a strut? That is a sweet bogey. You know what else does really, really work well?
I think
Pneumatic tires, soft tires. These, just because you can sharpen diamonds with them, does not mean they're hard. Hey, look, I'm gonna pull this plane out, this fuse. I wanna take the tail out, but I gotta do the fuse first. Oh yeah, it is so gorgeous. I love your little plane, it's so pretty. And by the way, I gotta say, that is gorgeous. Beautiful pie. Wow, there's yolks in there.
What?
There's yolks.
I see them.
And by the way, I gotta say, one of the cleanest, and it's not like some big, huge, super crazy strong plastic that's way overdone. This is like, feels like packaging from like a thing you bought. This is harder, okay, admittedly, but this feels like thin plastic, which is what I want. If I'm gonna have a glass cockpit, that is so cool that you can
That
see
is
the
really-
yolks. And by the way, the motor output shaft looks kind of small. But then we have a vent. It stops the bugs from flying inst. Inst.
New word.
Yes. So far, I mean, really impressive amount of antennas. And details are second to none. I mean, seriously. And we see a lot of planes here on Brian Phillips RC. If you didn't already know that, we've probably done, you know, about 2,000 videos here on this channel. So if you're looking for one, check out brianphillipsrc.com. That's where you can sort through what we've already done, and you can find it right away. Okay, so horizontal stab. Oh, it clicks together.
Nice.
I don't know exactly how that works, though. That's kind of weird. I'm gonna have to undo it though to take it apart. Oh, there you go. Okay, so, boop.
Nice.
Looks beautiful. I mean, there's a rod in there. Yeah, but that's carbon fiber. But listen, look, guys, it doesn't go all the way to the end, but I'm trying to figure out, is that gonna, it provides enough stiffness. I mean, it's a general aviation. And then look, guys, I'm serious, Law.
There's like
look at that.
One,
there's like not one of those stupid little mold release things.
No.
Wait, there is one right here. Boop. And then there's one right here. Boop.
What?
Yeah,
I
right
can't
there.
even see 'em
right
in the
here.
light.
Very hard to see, but beautiful blue.
Yep.
Absolutely gorgeous panel lines, folks. Pinch hinge. Come on, man. You're going to go through all this trouble with a pinch hinge, but at the same time, I got to say, absolutely gorgeous and good octagonal connection point for the elevator, so we don't have to worry about that breaking apart. I gotta say, notwithstanding my sack, this thing has a small piece count. The nut and bolt sack.
Yeah. Still.
Did you already show the people the nut and bolt sack?
Yeah. It's mostly antennas. Antennas, prop adapter.
Oh, wait. Show the people what I almost missed right there. Right there. Right there. Right. Whoa.
Yeah, that would be
We would
easy
have
to
been in
miss.
big trouble, guys.
The plane
That's
would
a
have totally
belly
crashed.
mount. It's to undergird the landing gear.
So-
And there's antennas are removable.
Yeah.
Super nice, folks. Okay, so really excited. Build should go super fantastic on this plane. And I do love, and I am a sucker for a Cessna 182. In fact, we'll probably be flying in a Cessna 210 tomorrow morning, which is gonna be super exciting. And we're gonna go fly over the here,
Over the here.
because our pond is like almost done, folks. Like literally, they're gonna be running a harrow over it. Somebody threw a Chinese weapon in my house. That's quality assurance tag, by the way. So if you look at this is pretty good given the nature of RC builds. If you haven't ever followed along with us, what we do is we unbox, build, and then radio set up the planes. But I gotta admit, this looks like it's gonna be a pretty easy build. However, it might be easy. There are gonna be a few steps, and I can tell right now, I have to figure out where the wires are gonna land. Floats!
Yeah.
It obviously didn't come with floats, but you can put floats on. Okay, so we're gonna have to add a lot of those little doohickeys, right? How are we doing this? Is there an instruction manual?
Are we
Did
gonna
this thing?
follow the instruction manual?
Do you want me to do it without an instruction manual?
Do we need an instruction manual? Can we
Probably.
just put a disclaimer that we're not gonna follow the instruction manual, so if you're gonna get upset about that, I'm just telling you now.
I don't know. Do we need to? Have people been complaining? Because I haven't been paying attention.
They do. People are like, it comes with instructions for a reason. Yeah, to ignore them.
No, it comes with instructions so that we can look at them if we get confused and do something wrong. But truth is, okay, so this says rudder,
Okay.
and this says elevator, lights.
Okay.
There's two
Nice.
lights. That's kind of weird. Wonder why there's two. Oh, the tail light must be a separate
There's
circuit.
nut zerts in there, so I'm assuming that's gonna screw on.
It's pretty obvious that this is going to screw on, but my concern is this. I'm just trying to figure out do we go ahead and do this first and then pass it in, or does it matter? I don't know. I'm kind of not sure because this build is a little bit different than what we've done in the past. So let's just do this first. Let's just pass.
You are supposed to put the tail on first.
Yeah,
according
because
to
otherwise
this.
you wouldn't be able to get the wires through.
Okay.
There's zip ties, so I'm gonna get something to cut the zip ties with. And normally when we build our models, we just grab what would be, I don't know, with FMS, it always seems to be like a 2mm
Yeah.
drive, okay? So that's probably what we're gonna need. We'll just put this over here.
I have to rip your
Here, let me
sack
see it.
open.
I have to save this in case we need the plastic bag.
The staple.
The staple. Well, I could reuse that too. But seriously though, look. Antennas, prop adapter. Whoa, that's a big old adapter. I bet that's for the floats though. Okay, some extra hardware. Well, where the heck are the plastic pieces? I feel like I'm missing something.
What do you need plastic pieces for?
There's plastic pieces that go on the float adapters. Oh,
maybe there's not.
Maybe there's not. No, that goes on here. That's gonna go on the mains.
Maybe they're just open.
Yeah, that would
float
be.
adapters?
Hold on a second. Look with me. Let's make sure we didn't miss something, guys. Okay, inside this is just one of the packaging members. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, so there are not float adapters. So that's weird. Normally they plug those holes. Okay, so we're gonna put this on right now. We gotta cut this wire. It looks like they put a double-sided tape on here. Okay, so we'll cut the zip tie. So we don't even need China glue?
Apparently not.
Okay. So we're gonna undo this 3M tape. We've obviously got the light and the rudder. So I think what we're gonna do is we're going to try to drop this into this opening, you see? And these two are gonna land up here. But I'm just, oh, that's the second LED, okay? So this just needs to get passed through to that hole. And we're just gonna try to drop that in that general vicinity. Just grab them both and see how hard it is to put together. So far, I can already tell this is gonna go together really good because they've just thought of everything. That is so nice. And by the way, if you guys ever built the SkyTrainer 1.4, yeah, that sucked. That was hard to build.
Yeah.
And that's like an old version. Now, I'm not saying the plane sucked. The plane is all right. But I've got high hopes for this because it is very light. And with all these features, normally the planes that we get are not that light. Okay, you see what's happening? They're
coming through?
They're getting log jammed. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to use the tools that were provided with the plane. Just for those of you that maybe don't have a bunch of tools hanging out or you're at the flying field. So check this out. I'm just gonna go around, do a quick pole dance. Okay. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. No. But you know what I could do? I could cram my rod this way. Oh yeah, there it is. And then, I mean, do you suppose they have tape at the field, at the flying field?
Somebody might.
Yeah, somebody's got tape. Just find that guy.
That guy.
That guy.
Take the tape off your packaging tape.
Oh, by the way,
tape on your
if
box.
we didn't see you at Joe Nall, we're sorry, but we are going to Joe Nall, and you guys are going to get this video before we go. Okay, so I just spun that around a couple of turns, like one turn to be specific, and I'm going to just stick these to the side of the tape. This is just a quick and dirty way to pull your cables through if you've got a little bit of tape. And then look, I'm just gonna use my fingers to just kind of very carefully just get it started. Just pull it through, booyah, just like that.
I'm gonna hold that.
If you want to hold my rod.
Well.
Ah, dang it. My tape came off. But you know what? We were talking about not having tools, so I'm gonna go ahead and get another one.
Yeah. Just put forceps in your thing that you take to the field.
The thing. Do we need to do any pumping?
No, right now.
So you're saying if you had pneumatic tires on an airplane, it would be nice?
It would be.
Instead of rock hard tires? Just saying it would be cool. Okay, forceps. I'm just gonna grab in here and just do a little quick reach and grab. Okay, good. Now that I've got these two stuck through, this should be pretty straightforward process. I just don't want to drop them back. And this has to go down. Ooh, see this? Look. That goes in, and then those wires get pulled kind of tight. You see why I'm pulling them tight?
Where's your double-sided tape?
The double-sided tape. Why do you not understand exactly this whole double-sided tape apparatus? So I guess I'm just going to pull the wires and just stick it down on top. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me otherwise. Because like, I feel like the double-sided tape will bear that okay. And then there's a slot that we have to get all the way down in there and get deep penetration. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. You know what that penetration is? That's the rod. The joiner.
It goes through there.
For the horizontal stab?
Yeah.
It's this thing, carbon fiber. Okay. So I'm gonna just ram this through right now.
But are you gonna put the double-sided tape?
The double-sided tape is already done.
You peeled the sticky off?
Yeah, I threw away the thing in there. And that, look, it's right there. Give them a close-up.
I see it in the garbage.
Show them the close-up. I just wanted to make sure you guys didn't think I was lying to you. Which, by the way, on YouTube, there's a lot of people that do videos about RC airplanes. And we try to be as truthful and forthright with you because we absolutely have no reason to lie to you ever about anything. Because the truth is, we love planes. And I do tend to kind of like all planes a little bit, too much. And that has been proven time and time again. But if they suck, we just tell you because we don't really care which plane you get. Like, we don't care. If you don't like this one, just get another one. That's awesome. But I gotta say, so far, it's kind of coming together really nice. Definitely better than the Skytrainer. Okay, so, whoa, it clicks together. Like, what the heck? Is there, like, do we have to hold it together? How do we hold it in there?
There's gotta be...
Uh-oh. Are we gonna have to read the instructions? Look,
is there not
one control
screw
rod
for a screw?
Check the CG. Is there a screw? I don't know. I'm serious, Law. I don't know. What does it say? Read that, please. What does it say?
Thread the vertical tail servo and LED wires through the rear fuse. Install the vertical tail. Insert the horizontal tail connector spar at the slot in the rear of the fuse. Ensure it passes through the hole. Because if you don't get your rod through the hole, that would be bad.
Yes, that would be bad.
Install the left and right horizontal tails onto the connecting spar. Align, push. When there's a click sound, it indicates that they're installed properly. Did it click? I don't think it clicked.
I don't think it did either.
Okay. Shh.
Listen. Oh, there it is. But look, that can't be right.
Does your elevator move together?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess if that moves, that might be a problem. We'll have to tape it then. But I don't care. Like, even if they just said, tape the dang thing, Brian.
They didn't.
Okay.
It clicked. Okay. That's all we need. No, just wait.
We'll let John do the aftermarket moves.
Okay. He can.
Okay, so listen. Black rod out of the way. Four steps out of the way. We're ready to stick these doohickeys together, aren't we? Whoa!
Jeez.
Kind of tail heavy right now. It's a little, CG's a little tail heavy. Okay, so.
You're gonna need another set of hands, aren't you?
Actually, yes, hold this, please. Can you just hold still and let me do this?
Yes. Okay,
don't try to like change the focus or anything. Okay, elevator. So now guys, if you don't know how this works, this is JR Hextronics color code. And so it's brown is negative, red is positive, as in positive DC voltage, and then yellow is signal, okay? And if it were Futaba, it would be red, white, and black. Okay, so red, or just make sure your brown matches your brown, and your yellow matches your yellow. Your red is gonna be in the middle no matter what brand you've got. Okay, so then there's a Y cable. So again, this is super easy. This one's a little bit different. The red goes to the middle, and this is a 3-pin connection, but you're only gonna be using 2 of the pins. So the brown goes to the black. Camera crew, if you can just hold still, that'd be super handy. Oh, there it goes. Okay, now the retention clips don't work as good when you've got the 2 pins going into a 3, just in case you were wondering. And they did label this lights, okay? So folks, if you guys are brand new to RC and you think every plane is gonna go together as easy as this one, you would be thinking incorrectly. Okay, let go, I have it.
Okay.
So now I just need to kind of, I think I'm gonna take the leads and I'm just gonna do a quick twist-a-rooney. And then all I need to do is just try to get this to drop into the fuse. And while I'm also cramming the black rod into the black hole, okay, and then you can see where the nutsert is gonna be accessible from the top and the bottom. So we can put some screws together, okay? So I'm just gonna, I don't wanna pinch all these cables in the foam because that'll make it really hard to pull the excess into the fuse. So I'm just gonna use my forceps to kind of help me get in there. And then we'll see if if you have any doubt, just take the whole thing and just shake it a couple of times. That'll drop them down. Oh man, that went together really smooth.
It did.
Really smooth. We were both very nervous about the box size.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there ain't no way this thing's gonna be not glued together. We haven't had one drip of sticky stuff.
Not yet.
Okay, so screws. How about we do this? Let's put them here. Let's put them here. Whoa. Okay, what do we need? I'm guessing we need the tapered ones. M310. M310 is the same as the landing gear uses. Okay, M310.
How many does the landing gear use?
A total of 4 and then 2 on the fuse. M310.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So 10 millimeters long.
So, okay. So
These. This is M310 with a 2 millimeter drive.
Wings go on with?
The wings don't.
They're quick connect, aren't they?
I don't know. I'm gonna just stick this down. Hey,
you gotta
put one hand here. I did not have to work hard at all.
No.
I feel like it's already lined up, but I could be mistaken. If you sit here and spin for like 3 hours, you didn't get it yet. Okay, I'm kind of assuming that I'm not lined up because, okay, I'm gonna have to actually push hard and screw at the same time. I don't know how I'm gonna do this without help.
Do you want me to screw?
Just turn the screwdriver, yeah.
No,
just catch the edge. You gotta line up the screwdriver. Okay.
It's not going yet.
This is normal, folks. If your screw hole's lined up, then you're in the extreme minority of minorities. That is not lined up. So let go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the fuse over and see if we get better luck on the bottom. Once you get one, then you can pivot the other half. I'm just trying to figure out which one. I can see this one pretty good. Show the people. The top one. See, I gotta bring this over. There we go. Get it? Come on. Get it? Now I can't help but feel like that's not going still. Oop, I got it. Walked it over. Walked it over. Now show them the seam, how it's opened up on the bottom and it's closed on the top.
Yep.
I can tell I'm getting resistance and I'm torqued.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
I'm really tempted to put the gear on while it's upside down, but let's just flip it over. Okay, now this time I'm going to, I probably gotta slide this out now. I'm gonna lay this down. If you guys have one of these robot plane stands and you wanna slide these, but it's really hard to do, put some talcum powder, some baby powder on there, and these things will slide like butter. That fuse has perfect scale lines. I'm loving it. So far, so good.
You're close to the edge of the counter there.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But just don't worry about it, please. See this? Look. See how far off we are in our hole? I'm gonna have to really work to get that purchase there. I hope these people can get theirs together easier than ours. What's gonna happen is you'll fight to get it the first time. I need you to help me on this. You're just gonna have to help me.
Okay.
Put down pressure on there. Let go. Put down pressure on there. I gotta push really hard down to get those two to line up. And you see how I'm at an angle? I'm just trying to catch the first thread and then I got it started. I can't help but feel like I got it started this time. Yeah, baby! Now, listen.
Okay.
The struggle's real on this. That's the worst we've had for fit on an FMS model in a long time. But once you put this together a couple of times, that's not gonna be an issue anymore, I promise you. And by the way, I've got to say, that is absolutely gorgeous. And guys, seriously, make no mistake, when you can fit a plane this big in that small of a package, that is money in your pocket, okay? It may not feel that way. Watch this, release and finger hole. Oh yes, you can see the instrument cluster even better. That is so sweet. And I gotta say, look at the release, it's actually nice, okay? Now, this thing does come out too, okay, just so you know. And they have 4 holes, one hole is started already. And I'm assuming that's because all the instrument crap goes under there. Excuse me, not instrument crap, the receiver and stuff. So that's kind of annoying. We have to put that in ourselves.
That must be what those little black screws
Yes.
are for.
That's 100% what they're for. What's the first thing you break on an airplane?
Antennas. Or pitot tubes.
So let's mount them.
Perfect. Then we can flip it upside down and put the gear on.
Yes, exactly. Do you have a problem with my pitot tube? Okay, so we're gonna mount the rest of the stuff. So the mains are gonna go like here, okay? And then you're gonna put this like here. Okay guys, note to self, if purchasing, if buying plastic from plastic manufacturers, why did you not get that to fit correctly?
Wait, do you suppose that's only if you have the floats on? Is that just a filler? Because that does not look like it's gonna fit.
You're right, it does not look like it. It does not, yeah, but you'd have to have the floats in there. Doesn't look like it's gonna fit anyway. What the heck? That looks pretty close right there.
But there's no way that's gonna...
There is a way.
Wait.
Listen, that's the way. You have to slide that over and then down. You see how it drops in? Mm-hmm. There's like a weird clip. And then this overlaps. Oh, okay. I'm seeing how it all goes together now. Now I just need to grab some of those M310s. Look, here's an M310. In case you guys didn't know what an M310 looks like, it's 10 millimeters long and the shaft is 3, is the size. That's metric for 3. Okay, there's one. And we've got 3 more to do, and then there's a spare, because that's the way FMS likes to do it. They always provide 1 spare unless it's a weird size. And sometimes they're like an ultra long one for the spinner or something like that. You may not get a spare on those. Okay, so we're gonna do 4, and then this plane is like coming together. Just put it separate. All right, guys, loving it so far. Absolutely gorgeous too. So that's where we have to stick the nose gear. But this is what we were talking about earlier, the fillers that would go in there. And there's this big assembly here, that must be for the steerable nose gear. Okay, so the steerable nose gear is evidently gonna pass through, and there'll be a screw that goes down. Oh man, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't believe how good this is looking. That's gonna wanna fall down, so we're gonna have to put it on its gear. So why don't we go ahead and lay this over here and sort of out of the way. And then I'm gonna just like lay the nose gear on the table counter. And then I'm gonna roll this, and there's just like crap in every direction. Sorry, folks. Okay, so yeah, you wanna mount it just like that, okay?
Perfect.
Actually, it goes this way, I think,
with
maybe.
a butter knife.
Yeah, do the butter knife thing. That's always a good idea. Okay, so this is not accessible. It's right here. You press down, and then you got a finger hole. That is so freaking cool with those yokes. Okay. All right. So now I got to take a singular screw out. That's this is not a number 4. It'd be like a number 1 screwdriver. Maybe a. You're gonna knock the rod off the table there. Okay. So I'm gonna undo this 1 Phillips screwdriver. It's like a self-tapping wood screw, if you will. Okay. So you can see that. I'm gonna lay that screw next to the other screws, just to show you what they look like. Because there's gonna be 4 of those total, okay? Then there's 2 of these, and then there's 2 of these, and then there's this, and this is our spare, okay? All right, so now that this is done, all right, so we gotta just get this thing out, so the pilot has to kind of get out of the way. We've got Velcro. This would be a perfect time to show you inside, but instead we're gonna show you a trick that we've showed you a million other times. I don't even know what size battery this uses, but we're gonna use some shelf liner, which is amazing. This product will practically save your plane's life because you don't have to use stupid Velcro on your battery. You can just grab this off, okay? And then you can take this little backing off, just like so. Now folks, if you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and then you'll know when new content's coming out. We'll help you set up your planes. We'll help you learn how to use the radio systems and all sorts of other bells and whistles. Okay, so now cut this out. Now, why are we doing this instead of just sticking the Velcro on the battery? Well, if you're like me, you've got a lot of batteries, okay? I don't wanna put Velcro on here. because this is gonna work even better. It's gonna prevent the battery from slipping, and it's gonna allow us to put less pressure on the battery and still have it not slide. Okay, so let's just assume it's gonna use a 3200 for us, okay? So obviously this thing is slick-ish, okay? If you put it on here, it's not gonna slide. You just got a little bit of pressure on it and it's gonna stick like crazy. Now, even if I try to slide it, you can get it to slide, but with a little bit of purchase, it's gonna hold. And that's true for just about any of these batteries. But even still, occasionally I will have Velcro on our batteries, and that's because certain applications really do need it, okay? And a lot of times it has to do with helicopters, okay? So now that we've got that done, we can walk back over to the plane. We'll lay this down over here, so when I freak out and forget that I have it over there, would you help me remember, camera crew? That'd be great, thanks. Okay, 40 amp Predator ESC. We do have a thrust reverse line as marked by the yellow wire, so that's always nice to know. And then there's a mixing board here. Oh, look, so I feel like I tripped and fell, and whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, dang it, I accidentally cut that off. So just so you know, don't cut your hand. XT60 looks good. I don't know what these are. They're not labeled. I'm assuming they're extra. And then we got to basically put this thingy, doohickey. What are you doing with your hands right there?
It was tipping back.
Okay, so look, watch this. Dump that stuff out. Okay, we got this thing. I'm just gonna stick it on there. Boom. Does it go? Nope. Maybe it goes, no, no. Does it?
I think you just need the little white piece.
Well, what's that for?
I don't know.
What is it? Let's look.
It goes here.
Where?
Between the prop adapter and the prop.
So like this?
Yes.
And then like this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. See this? See this, folks? This is machined. Well, it's not machined, it's just molded that way. And look, it goes into the servo like so. Very simple, basic concept, okay? Now, I would put these antenna on just to annoy the camera crew, but I'm gonna put them over here for now because we don't need them yet, okay? So we're gonna put a screw in there, and guess what number it's gonna be?
A 10.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't even know that it's the same. I think it's a shorter one.
No, the directions
Check the
say 10.
instructions. Here's why.
3 by 10.
So listen,
So
we
there's
have
no
no
spare.
spares. That's why I was questioning that, guys.
Yep.
This is one of the few times we've ever seen it from FMS. No spares for you, and that is wrong.
Well, that's what the directions say.
And when I say wrong, I mean you are exactly right. No, I seriously, I felt so much resistance, and I thought for sure I was out of threads. And guess what? Threads are super similar to that size. Right here, this is a Phillips head with a black tip. I don't even know where that's gonna get used.
I don't either yet.
I assume it will be used for something at some point, or they wouldn't have given them to us.
You never know.
Okay, so everybody listen, camera crew. Here's your breakout for your sequencing of your lights, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Okay, this is going, oh, look, they have a chase for wires to keep all that. Guys, they answered all my complaints about the SkyTrainer 1.4. I do not like, however, where this ESC is, because that could interfere with your steerable. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna, China, hey,
Well,
you need to stop hitting that.
Where is the receiver gonna go before you glue that thing down?
Well, do you think I've actually figured that out yet? China, glue, FMS sells this stuff. Well, I could put the receiver here. I don't know, why don't you go back to where you were, just don't hit this. I'm just thinking what I wanna do is I wanna take this thing, and I don't wanna put it up here sideways, although I could.
How does the battery lead come out of that tray?
How does the battery fit in here? Where the heck does the battery go? Oh, it goes on
The
top,
tray.
duh.
That's what I'm saying, but how does the battery lead come up?
Good question. Like that. So yeah, so this is where we're putting it.
Okay.
Sorry, that's where it's going. China glue. Buy this. When you're buying this plane, buy some. It's cheap. It's about the same price as the foam to foam. Works just fine, okay? All right, I'm glad we had this conversation. Just a little slather of it, a schmear, okay? I'm gonna just put a little slather, a smear, if you will, okay? And it's clear, so it's kind of hard to see, and that's the way I like it. If I have a sticky fluid release, then I will spread it with a Q-tip, folks. Q-tips are wonderful for this project, and that's why I have them in my kitchen. Okay, spread out the stickum, and then you're gonna spread out here. Now you could put Velcro on there if you really wanted to like waste a lot of time. But you are, after all, watching a Brian Phillips RC video.
Yeah, wasting time is not a concern.
It's obviously not a concern of yours if you're watching our videos. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna need this again, so I'm just gonna throw, I know there was half left.
That's okay, you'll just get out the garbage if you need it again.
Yeah, that's true, I will actually. All right, so normally we would do radio setup later, and so we'll probably stick to that right now, but I gotta let that cook for a minute. So while that's cooking, we're gonna put this on right through the hole. Oh yeah, not lined up. There it is. Yes. If you could, thank you. Now watch this, guys. There's an on and an off.
The on is supposed to be
On, off.
downward.
Whoa, the CG's marked. I don't even have to mark it. It's right there. CG.
The on should be down. That's what the directions
Whatever that
say.
means. Okay, thank you, China, for the not at all ambiguous instructions. That's why Brian Phillips RC is here for you. At Brian Phillips RC, we're going to help you read the Chinese words and stuff. Uh-oh, that doesn't line up very good. What's going on?
Maybe your on is not down.
Oh, I got to press the on down? Okay, check this out. I bet my stickum is getting sticky. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Stick it over. Boom! Stick it right there. Done. Okay, good job, me. Congratulations on your successful... Whoa! Hold on a sec. Whoa, I just thought of something. I don't know where our freaking receiver is going, because there must be something on the bottom. I bet we have to get down underneath. We have to go down under.
Where's the reflex?
It's on the bottom.
On the bottom?
It's on the bottom. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the throttle needs to be thrown back here while we're in there, okay? Then these two things, I don't know what the heck they're doing. I don't know. I'm gonna just stick them back here, because I need to keep all this crap needs to be out of there. You know what? You know what?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
Listen, you know what, camera crew? Watch this. I'm gonna get up here and I'm gonna grab a toothpick because I got something in my teeth. Right? Do I have something in my teeth?
No.
This is the part where you say, Brian, you don't have anything in your teeth. But guess what I do have? I have those wires taken care of now. Watch this. Boom. Look at that. Amazing. Now those sons of guns aren't going to get in there and interfere with my rudder use. Right? Okay. See that? Watch this.
Okay.
Check this out. It's going to be amazing. Watch this. Stick it in. Stick it in. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Come on. Drop it like it's hot. See? Look at that. Now this guy's got a wire coming up between his legs. I think we should come up here. I think we kind of misjudged that. We should come up here. But even still, I mean, same crap, different day. See, look at that.
Right.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, now listen, because I can, I'm gonna stick a screw in, okay? Some of you are like, why are you jumping around? You're confusing us. Well, you know, we're just building the plane. And
Squirrels built RC planes.
this is how they would do it. They'd be like, you know, well, squirrels are not the ones that get distracted like dogs and cats are. Just to be precise.
Okay.
Okay, I need to come over here. Watch this. That is wrong size. I'm going to a smaller size. The 3mm one. Now they've marked where we have to penetrate, but I am sort of nervous because like that's where my wires are. So I'm just holding this and I'm just gonna start it. Okay? Watch this, guys. I just started it. Now listen to all the wires get hit. That was we're gonna have to put down super realistic AI generated noises.
Now.
Yeah, because BPRC did it.
You're putting all those in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would I not?
I don't know. Just so we can take them out and put the receiver in a little bit.
Listen, the receiver's not going in there. The receiver's going into the bottom. Yeah. The camera crew is going to have to eat her words. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. This happens like once a century. Usually she's right.
Like the first time ever.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Remember, Mother's Day already passed. So start.
You missed it.
Start getting
if
your
you're watching this.
Your preparations for next year need to be ready. No excuses.
You really should have put Father's Day first so that you had a reminder.
Yeah.
Mother's Day was
so
coming.
like you'd remember.
No, who planned that?
That's actually a pretty good idea. I'm sure that Mother did not plan that. It was a dude. All right, so check this out. We got to make this wing stick, okay? Hey, would you mind holding my battery lead? Sure, I will. That guy's so nice. Watch this. Boom. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, yeah, it's so good. Love it. So for those of you that like doing FPV, you'll be able to get your camera gear and stuff in there easy. But the wing, watch this, okay? I'm just gonna hold it sideways. This is light, guys. I'm serious, it feels light. Okay, where's on and off? I can't read it. What is it?
On is towards you. Oh, no, it's towards the middle on both of them.
I gotta get it onto the plane stand. Would you move these, please? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna lay this on the plane stand just so as not to cause a problem. And the camera crew is gonna turn the camera so it's pointed in this direction.
Okay.
So I'm pressing and nothing seems to happen. I'm pressing and nothing seems to happen. I just don't understand exactly what I'm supposed to do. There's obviously a tab on this side. Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
Oh God, it feels terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna get a screwdriver. I know it sounds stupid, but
Okay.
I'm using a screwdriver because I just, you know, I was talking about not wanting to use tools earlier and God punished me.
Well, we have to have a screwdriver.
Oh!
Did you poke through?
No, I didn't.
Oh my goodness, you're so lucky.
Wow, I don't know. I was thinking I was not lucky because I just about poked through. Okay.
Okay, so that's an aggressive push down.
Yeah, no shibbities. Okay, watch this, guys. Watch this. Come on. Do it. You know you want it. Oh, good Lord. Well, I think we found the weak link in this model. Oh, there's going to be so many people that break these.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
They didn't, though.
They did not.
Okay, listen. This would be considered the right wing.
No, that's the left.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the left wing. Okay, that's wrong. They have an arrow that tells you what direction. But of course, there's an arrow, but it's completely ambiguous.
Yeah.
Does that mean the direction of flight or does that mean the direction of sliding?
Yeah.
So in other words, like China, just stop trying to communicate. Just don't even do instructions. Just make it easy to put together. And to be honest with you, I gotta say, China, you did a good job on this plane. China, we're working with China. We're trying to straighten them out. They're doing a good job. I wish they would have made this match. It's very ugly. Other than that, this thing is gorgeous. And I gotta say, it is light. Seriously, I'm not just saying that.
You.
I like it though.
How are you gonna do the other?
This thing probably weighs less than the Skytrainer. I'm serious.
Yeah, that was a heavy.
This plane looks the part so much better.
Yeah.
Okay, whilst off of the plane, watch. Look in my hole.
I'm gonna block your view.
See that? There's a tab.
Yes.
Turn your light on. Haha! Easier. See the tab? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Guys, we found the trick. The trick is to not do it while on the plane.
Well, I didn't realize it was gonna be that much of a push down. That
Well,
was
I just
kind
assumed
of-
it'd be like spring loaded.
Yeah.
So we've now had 2 planes in the last week-ish time frame that have had pop-on, pop-off wings.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the other plane did it better. But I gotta say, I kind of like this plane a lot. And I don't have the antennas on, you may have noticed. Watch this. Push it in like you mean
You
it.
can, yeah, you can see it then.
Oh yeah!
Okay, that was better.
Woo!
I was a little nervous for a second.
Speakers blown.
Sorry.
Brian Phillips, RC.
We'll link to new speakers in the description.
We should. That's a good idea.
We should.
If you guys ever want to help support Brian Phillips RC, one of the best ways you can do it is look in the video description below. You'll see links to beautiful, that is freaking sweet, beautiful planes like this. You see, you guys are gonna know that you're taken care of when the pilot holds your lead.
Holds your battery lead.
Hold my lead for me, okay? Okay? I cannot believe how easy that build was. This is gonna be short by Brian Phillips RC standards. So this is gonna be like an hour-long build, which is great, because it's been a long week. We're like 70 hours this week. So I could get ahead just enough to leave town for a week and go to Joe Nall. Okay, that does not seem right. No, the first one was fine. There it's in. It's in. Very good job. Okay, stay there. Hold that thought.
Hold that thought.
For those of you that have been following Brian Phillips RC forever, you'll remember this beauty. It's got a little dust going. Yeah, it's a little dusty.
Or a lot of dust. Hold it back here.
That is a ultra micro that's no longer for sale. Shame on you, Horizon. But I'm just gonna clean this off. I just wanted to show you guys, oh man, it's really dirty, sorry. That's super gross. By the way, foam planes can get dirty. I'm just gonna say, I love the Cessna 182. It is like one of my favorite models. And as a result, I'm super excited. This Ultra Micro did not come with flaps, LEDs, and I added them by putting in a second receiver, okay? You don't have to do that on this. You just stick it together.
Yeah.
And it's ready to go almost out of the box, other than the small amount of grunting that you'll have to do to push the on-off buttons. Now, I gotta say, probably the worst part of this plane so far has been looking and realizing the box is small, which scared us.
It did.
Okay, so let's put this on.
Well, now we gotta figure out how to get that thing apart.
Yeah, I know, it's like the kind that you click together. I do not like that style. Do you wanna know why? Because look, because if you can't see into the end, you have a tendency to wanna break them. Okay, so I'm just doing both, two of them. Oh, and that's exactly what I did. Look, you guys, I literally just warned you about that. Fortunately, I'll be able to put that together with some CA. But that ticks me off because I'm telling you, I'm a careful guy and I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I literally called it.
How else are you supposed to?
Put a screwed together design like
right.
everybody else.
But at the same time, how are you supposed to get that off without breaking it?
I don't know, be patient, you know.
Oh, well, that's not your strong suit. That's not your strong suit, but you are usually careful.
I am careful.
Yeah.
This is annoying. Okay, guys, on Brian Phillips RC, one of the things that we like to do is we show exactly what we actually did. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, yeah, obviously. Yeah, but a lot of guys just skip past stuff like this because you're probably gonna break your crap too, and you're gonna be like, dang it, you suck, FMS. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I kind of feel that way right this second, but in like 5 minutes when I'm past this, I forgot that I did it. Okay, watch this. Look, conical shape. Conical shape. Why two, Megan? Also known as camera crew.
Two is always better than one?
No, just because I like a good pair. No, wrong. Guess again.
Why?
Because you need to balance this. Okay, look.
Oh.
Then you can't even see the brake, guys. No. Okay, so listen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that as a gap filler. Goodness gracious, so freaking annoying though. Okay, so you can barely even see the damage, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go a little CA. I could use China glue, but this is better for what we're doing. This is 2-tiered, double thicker. Okay, now I'm gonna press that down. Ooh, you know what I could really use? A good dumpster dive on camera.
I told you.
Hey, look what I found, guys. Making the toilet wine and saving some money. Okay, so China, you did a good job. Thanks for selling us a defective spinner. Truth is, look, it's gonna be fixed. I'm not even gonna use kicker. You don't even deserve to be kicked. Look, see guys? Now, listen, carefully, listen. When you have a spinner and you add something to this side, guess what you get to do to the other side?
Add it to the other side.
What you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Sounds like middle school math class to me.
That's why I didn't like
What you do to one side, you got to do to the other. You know, it's like fractions.
Yeah.
I had a math teacher that taught things like that to me.
Oh, I missed that day.
Yeah, obviously. Oh, son of a biscuit. Son of a, don't you be doing that. Nah, don't you know. Don't you be, oh, son of a biscuit, you.
I can make biscuits though.
Don't you be doing that now. You stuck right down to my thing. Now I got to stick my thing on the thingy. Okay? Do you see what I did there? Don't you know? You're such
your
a
thumb is in the way.
guy. Look, I'm just trying to spin this up in there. Okay? Now listen, folks. You're probably thinking to yourself, Brian, there's about 50 ways you could have done that, and you picked the hardest way. Plus, you got glue on your thumb. Okay? Listen. This thing is hot. 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 Seriously, touch it. It's hot.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, you think I'm full of it, but it's, I mean,
Well,
it's just hot, folks. Lick your finger if you really want to get excited. And then go in there and touch it, and it's hot. But the reason I did that is because now it's going to be more balanced. Okay, now watch this. Because squeeze your bottle, get the tip cleared, let it suck the air back down, and then cap that son of a gun. I'm super annoyed that I had to do this because that took like 30 seconds and 1.5 cents worth of materials. Watch, boom, right on top. Just put that on there. That's kicker. I'm using kicker, I changed my mind. Finger, dry finger this time. Spread that stuff out. Now watch, you've got CA on your fingers. Ah! If you stick them together, it could be bad. Don't do that. But if you do, just get some acetone and unstick them. And by the way, you can use acetone to take this off of your fingers, but just remember, it's kind of like anything else. You know, like acetone a couple, 6, 7 times a day won't probably kill you. But if you did it like 4,000 times a day, it might. I can't believe I had to fix my awesome, you know, if I had just a pair of these.
Yeah.
It'd be like a really, really small Madonna party. Right there. Okay, so watch this. Watch this. This, look at the color on there. That's so cool.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. This is gonna go on. Oh, here it is. Wait, just you be careful. Just, you need to make room for the wings, camera crew. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my shaft. I'm gonna spin this. Oh yeah, there it is. And then it drops back. You notice there is a sizable gap behind the motor. It's kind of weird. Okay, so I'm gonna slide this on now. Look at that, wow. Miracles do happen. Okay, now we're gonna turn this on. Watch this, watch this. Look what I'm doing. I'm spinning this until it sits in the saddle. The saddle, show the saddle, show the saddle. See the saddle? Watch this. I'm gonna get a screwdriver. I'm doing a lot of watch thises tonight. It's like, oh my goodness, I think my shaft is too wide.
Oh, that's way too big.
Son of a biscuit.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking bigger is better. Oh, jeez. But then it's too small.
Nah.
I'm gonna go for, yep, that's too small. Too small. It's gonna break. It's gonna break. I'm serious.
Break.
Yes, it will. It's gonna break. Look, there we go. 2 millimeter. Oh yeah, just torque that baby down. But listen, just make sure, don't you know?
That's closing that gap.
Just guy, listen. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go like this. You see that gap? Beautiful. I'm holding the prop. Now watch this. Just make sure your saddle's closed here. If you haven't, tighten it now. And you guys are probably thinking to yourself, but Brian, what if that prop spins uncontrollably when you do your radio setup? Well, if you do your radio setup right and things go to plan, you won't have any problems and get cut. So if you're of the mindset that things are not gonna go right, then what you wanna do is don't install the prop yet, okay? Because that is the safer method. And if you're brand new to the hobby and you're just kind of figuring this stuff out and you're like, man, this guy's a goof, don't worry, that's okay. That's what most people think. But at the end of the day, I do know what I'm doing. I know it doesn't seem like it, but look, I just fixed my cone, okay? Whoop, 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 perfectly balanced. If it vibrates like a gasser when we fly, you'll know I didn't balance it perfectly. Okay? It better not break. I'm gonna be furious. I'm gonna be furious, and I know furious. Oh my goodness. Good fit. Oh yes. I just need to slide it in. Oh boy! That is a really tight fit. And that is gorgeous, by the way.
That's really pretty.
I gotta say, too bad it blew in half. Okay, so we also have to put this thingy on. Let's not forget.
Okay.
Let me just save, I'll just save these just in case.
Where are extra screws going?
The extra screws, I don't know. We could find like a plastic bag, but not those. I'm keeping.
No, but do we need them?
Probably. Guys, stop and look at how freaking beautiful this is. That is gorgeous, okay? And I know gorgeous. If this was a pageant, it'd be the Miss America pageant. And this would be gorgeous. Be beautiful. Flip it over. Go right onto these saddles. And now I'm looking for the hole.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that hole? Please, show me. Enlighten me.
Where is this hole? Let's talk about the hole. Let's show them in the manual.
Let's talk about it.
Let's show them in the manual.
Let's.
Where's it
Why
supposed
don't you go
to
back? Okay, so here's your battery.
be? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Battery compartment size.
Yeah.
They don't really tell you to install a receiver. FMS
Yeah, evidently,
doesn't really do
evidently
that.
like these are receiverless planes. You just like fly
You
around.
do need 2200 to 3200. 14.8 would be a
4S. 4S.
I hate that. Why can't they just say 4S?
Because they want you to have to work hard.
Math. It's a math, people.
Listen. Let's talk about batteries, camera crew. Whoa, that's 4,000. Don't you be getting over here. Don't you know? 3250C, I use this as an example. I use this as an example too. Amazing. It was like I knew ahead of time.
Okay.
I truly didn't though. Okay guys, let's talk about battery charging for a second. Get over here, camera crew. Stop doing what you're doing.
Proving myself right.
Look, battery lead. Stick it in the hole. Okay? If you had the other style, IC5 instead of an IC3, all you have to do is slide that. This is a smart charger. This smart charger is going to work with smart batteries. Smart batteries have a data lead that's right here between the main discharge leads, gray in color. And this is, of course, a Spectrum branded product, so you can buy those from the link in the video description below. But if you have a dumb pack that is like this, this would also be a good one. It has an XT60, which is ironic because that's exactly what calls for on this plane. And this is an Arrows product. We will not link to that.
Probably doesn't exist.
Probably doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on this. Now this is a 200 watt by 2, that's why it's S2200. This one's a 200 by 1. You can also get a 400 watt, so it's on S1400. We have links to chargers, but honestly, since this is 4S, and if you guys are trying to stay economy because you're not sure you're hooked yet, then you can go with an S155. That's a single 55 watt channel. And same thing here. This is why you like smart batteries, because look how hard that was. I literally turned on 4 charges while I was blathering. I didn't have to set a single setting. Now, if you were using a dumb pack, just to be fully transparent, you can still charge it here. You just have to plug in your balance lead here as well. And then in my case, because that's got an XT60, I would need to use either an adapter like this, which is the wrong adapter, but even still that would work because I could just go into the IC5, because this is an EC5. I could also use the correct one here, which is an XT60 to an IC3, okay? Or an EC3 in this case. IC3 is going to have the extra data line in the middle, and an EC3 doesn't, okay? That stands for E-Flight Connector, okay? They're terrible. That particular, the IC3s are great, the ECs suck.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys know from experience, trust me. If you're watching this video and you're like, hey Brian, I'm brand new to the hobby and I'm gonna save that too.
Yes, I know.
I'm brand new to the hobby and I just need some help setting up my brand new plane, and this is my first time ever flying an RC plane. Get an uglier plane.
Yes.
This one's probably going to fly good, I can already tell. Okay, I can just tell it's light, it's gonna be light on its feet, it's gonna have low wing loading, it's gonna be gorgeous in the sky. The wheels are gonna be noisy. It's gonna sound like It's gonna sound like you thought of everything but that. But I'm gonna tell you something. Some soft, nice, supple pair, or maybe even 3 at a time, would be really nice. So if you're brand new and you're just thinking, hey, is this the right plane for me? I don't know. You'll have to watch the flight portion, which is gonna be the maiden flights on this, and we will have our thoughts in that portion. But this is just the Unbox build radio setup. So let's go ahead. And obviously the build is done, with the exception of this doohickey here, which is going to go on the elevator linkage when we're done setting things up, okay? So then also, I need to get a screwdriver because I don't know where you're going. I need to get a screwdriver so that I can take off the 4 screws that I took off. By the way, you see this wire? I need to take that wire and slide it back here because it's gonna get pinched here. I don't know if you can see. You're gonna have to go to the other side. You see this? It's gonna get pinched here, right? So you're gonna have to pay attention and do your cable management here. I did not. I'm not taking the screws all the way out. I'm taking them out like 3/4 of the way so as to not have to reapply them. Now, this is one of the areas where it is admittedly pretty difficult to film for Megan and I. Megan is the camera crew. She's my wife of many years. That's why we talk to each other the way we are, because we have gotten over the wonderful like newlywed stages, and now we're just, we live together and stuff, right? Is that the way that works? All right, so hey, let go of my XT60, dude. He did. He was good to me. He helped me hold. So now watch this. I went up in his lap. That's awkward. And then I just rotate that out. I do not know why we have to take this out to do this, but well, I mean, I know, it's just annoying. See this one? This one needs to just be over here. That was my bad. I could have done better with that, and I didn't. I apologize, folks, for not catching that on the first go round. Now, where the heck is the reflex? All I've got is the throttle. How the heck are we supposed to hook this all up? Oh, they're right here. They're right here. Duh. Man, I am dumb today. Look, they're just like chilling right there.
Oh, you're getting
Where is the reflex? I can't even find it.
Is it not in
So
there?
let's talk about receivers, because this is the moment in time where we start doing our radio setup in the Unbox build radio setup. So I have an NX10. You don't need a 10-channel transmitter and a receiver to do this plane, but let's just talk about what you will need, okay? Obviously, you're gonna need to control, if you wanna have full control of this plane, you're gonna wanna have throttle, elevator, rudder, ailerons, flaps, and possibly thrust reverse, as well as mode. Okay, now on a Reflex V2, we were able to turn mode on, unplug that channel, and then use the channel for something else, which allowed us to have our stabilizer on, because we fly with stabilization, but not auto leveling. Okay, auto leveling is part of the Reflex offering. And so if you're brand new to the hobby and you need some help learning to fly, auto leveling is a very good way to help you fly, okay? Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. By the way, I'm gonna pull my toothpick out because it's like literally not necessary now. Okay. I feel like such a moron for not having looked at that. But if you want auto leveling, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what is auto leveling and why do I need it? When you're flying along and you let go of the sticks, the plane will automatically right itself, and it'll also limit your bank angles and your bank angles and your pitch angles, okay? But it doesn't really have anything to do with the yaw axis. The stabilizer does. Is that an LED or is that an inlet? What is that thing? That's so weird.
There's an LED over here, so I wouldn't.
I wonder if that's an LED. That'd be sweet if it was. It looks like an inlet or something, like an air intake. Okay, so at the end of the day, we're gonna have basically throttle, elevator, rudder, ailerons, flaps. There's no retracts, but you could have mode, and then you could have thrust reverse. That's 5, 6, 7, okay? Mm-hmm. So do I want to use a 7-channel receiver? The answer would be no.
Because they don't exist.
Yeah, you would need to use an 8-channel receiver. But if the stabilizer is built into this, and you can use an 82 or an
80-20T.
80-20T.
But there's no reflex in there.
There isn't?
Where is it?
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not in there.
When have we not ever seen a reflex before? Or ever not been able to see it?
I don't know, camera crew. Sounds like a good question. Oh, by the way, since we have it, we should probably show it. This is a Reflex V3, okay? Comes in a box like this if you order it separately. It's got a Bluetooth version. And that's it, okay? Looks just like a V2, except it's red. It's got all the cables, comes with the goodies. Feels a little bit heavier, and it does have 4 channels. S-Bus PPM mode. I don't know what the heck. Oh, it just says S plus and minus. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the inlets at the outlets. They still don't have flap-around support. But I put that over there carefully. So listen, guys, what we're trying to say is we can't physically see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Okay? Because that's a balance board and all that stuff goes in there, right? Because yeah, that for sure goes back to a Reflex. I just don't know where it is. So I don't know if we can take him out. I'm 100% certain it's going back to the Reflex. Okay, so you could use an 8020T. You could take full advantage. You could also get telemetry for your pack. Or you could use a 620 and you can just give up the mode switching. A 620 would be fine, but you can also get a 6610T. And that would give you all these features without the expense of the AS3X and Safe, which is really where you're gonna have your money spent. Now, if you go over to AS3X and Safe, just keep in mind, when and if you do that, then you've got the Reflex you gotta deal with, which means you're gonna have to unplug the wires here and figure out how to do it. I'm not seeing a Reflex. There is totally not a Reflex in here.
I don't see one.
So what the heck are they talking about?
Why is there a mixing board though? Like,
well, that's just because of the quick disconnects on the wings.
okay.
Yeah, guys,
I don't see it.
I'm sorry, there is not a Reflex in here. Okay, so if you wanted to use a Reflex, you could. I'm not gonna set that thing up on a virgin plane. I'm gonna do AS3X and Safe. So that takes me to my next option.
Yep.
Which is going to be what, camera crew?
Probably a 631.
A 631 or a 630 or a 637T, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you need telemetry on this. I mean, it's nice to have.
Okay, guys, because ours didn't come with a Reflex, we could use a 637T if we wanted telemetry, okay? That's gonna tell us when our pack is low. We're gonna know our flight pack voltage, which is really nice. This also gives us a barometer. So if you wanna have the function of Vario, so boop, 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 boop. You could have it actively managed altitude. Also, you get more information back on your transmitter. Now, if you don't care about that and you are gonna be flying in very close quarters, then 630 would be fine, but I would suggest going with a 31 minimum, because then you're gonna get your antenna. Now, keep in mind, even still, you've got mode can ride on channels higher than 6.
Yep.
So if you have an NX7E, you can use the 7th channel. If you have an NX6, you can use the 7th channel. Why did they have a 7th channel on the 6th? If you have an NX8, you should be able to do all that because you can do your throttle, elevator, rudder, ailerons, flaps. Mode is no longer in the low levels. So this would become your thrust reverse. And then this would be, well, wait, did we do flaps already?
You already did flaps. Yep.
We did flaps. So they're 6. Okay? So then that gets us away from the AR620 because I don't want a 620. It's not going to give us stabilizer. Okay? So I am going to use, and I'm not going to use the 8020T, but just keep in mind, we link, this thing fell over here. I don't know what happened. So the Reflex V3 would be an option that may come in your plane. Our box is printed as such, but ours didn't come with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if yours comes with the Reflex V3, then you can stuff that in the hole and then you can use this and keep all the features and have full telemetry. But I would probably not do that myself. I'd probably still, if you really want to have telemetry, I'd do the 6610T.
Yeah.
You know.
And just set your mode to whatever you want your mode.
But this is what everybody is gonna do. They're gonna put the Reflex in the 620 is what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna lock the mode however you want. But if you're new to piloting airplanes, probably not the best way to do it. And by the way, I gotta say, plug and play plug and fly configuration, meaning you have to provide your own receiver and set it up, is a lot harder. We're gonna help you do it. But just remember, I want you guys to hear me when I say this correctly. I care about you. I want you to have success. I'm gonna give you good advice. I'm also gonna be talking to the people that know what they're doing to help them work through their technical questions. So if I'm saying beginner, do it easy. Spend the extra couple of bucks because you're talking about a rounding error between the difference in prices on a 6610 and an 8020T. But now if you go up to an 8360T, you're talking about more than a rounding error, you know, then you're talking a pretty high percentage basis of the whole plane. Okay, so we do take that into consideration and we want you guys to understand that we do, okay? So that being said, now that we've got this simplified, we can just do a 631, which is what most people are probably gonna do if they get it without the reflex. Now, FMS offers these planes sometimes with reflex, and sometimes they offer them, they don't give you the choice. It just comes with the reflex. And so if that's the case, then I would defer back to the 620 is probably what most people are gonna do. It's very easy, it's effective, it's gonna get the job done. All right, hopefully we haven't bemoaned the issue too much, but we are gonna use the 631. And since we're getting into radio setup, we're gonna pause, clean up, and come right back. All right, so we're gonna use the 631 like we discussed. Obviously the NX10 is gonna pair up with it nicely. I pulled the staple off camera, and then this just pops out of the package real simple like. And just don't damage your antenna as you pull this out, because they kind of tape them in for this retail style packaging. You guys see what I'm talking about? Just be careful when you're pulling this out, because that is a coax cable, okay? So there is a manual. The manual goes over some information. We're gonna mostly ignore that. And that's because we're gonna show you exactly how to set this up right now. And it's pretty straightforward stuff, but it does take a lot of steps. And that's why we're gonna go through it entirely with you, okay? So the antenna is gonna go back. I'm probably gonna mount it here, okay? Just because it's gonna work really nice, okay? So that's where that's gonna go. It's gonna be just perfectly fine, except just keep in mind, you've only got so much clearance once you got that board on there. So one thing we could do if we're concerned about space is we could probably pull these wires right like here, and then I could maybe mount this right there on the wood board, you know? And then that gets us a little bit more headroom. It's like, it's not that much more, but it's enough that it might make a difference. The other thing is these can be mounted in like any of 25 configurations, and that does fit actually sideways. So maybe sideways is a way to do it. But maybe we want to go this way, because then that gets our leads back here. Because look, that's going to sit on top of that shelf, okay? And we have a correction for the exact position, which we'll go into as well. Okay, now, but the catch is, I don't know where to hook things up yet, because there is a channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, and then there's an S plus and minus, minus being the bottom pins here, S being the top, that's signal. The plus is always gonna be the center, okay? We're just gonna literally China glue this in when we're ready. And so as a result of that, I'm gonna go ahead and get some China glue on here right now and just get it cooking. We're not actually ready to hook it up yet. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get that China glue on there. And this China glue is pretty versatile stuff. We use it a lot, all the time, and it is really good. Now, I think I know where I wanna put it. I think I wanna put it here, and I'm gonna feed that antenna back behind it, okay? So I'm just gonna stick this on here and just get that stuff spread around, okay? Now, you'll notice I'm going sideways. You might be thinking, why didn't you just go vertical? Again, that's because once all these wires are plugged in, you gotta put that tray back in, okay? So this is gonna be right here now. I'm just gonna immediately pull it off and let this cook off, okay? We'll just lay that upside down and let it sit, okay? While it's sitting, we're gonna make our radio setup happening. Ready? So we're gonna turn this on. Comes up with our Spectrum logo, which is super fancy dance. I'm gonna hit cancel and back as soon as it loads.
Which takes a long time when you have 200 and some planes.
Cancel and back, scroll all the way to the bottom, add new model, create an acro. That's an acro. You can also do a sailplane, heli, or quad, or multi-rotor, technically. It takes longer the more models you have, and I'm almost out of model memory, folks. 250 is the limit on Airware, which is the software that rides on these Spectrum transmitters. Just keep in mind, if you ride on an IX, you're running Android, and it's running on top of Android. That's why I really do like the NX, okay? So model is already selected. The model type has been configured as acro, and if you change that, it'll clear everything. Model name, this is where you're gonna type in 211. Don't be fooled by that. I also have like 30 more in front of that. Okay, so this is a Cessna 182, so we're gonna type and come right back. All right, folks, so we got FMS Cessna 182 1.5 meter. Aircraft type, this is where you set up your wings. So we're gonna set it up for one aileron and one flap and a standard tail. And then I'm gonna scroll down to select an image from the standard file. We'll click there and we'll just scroll over until we get to like probably the Cub. That's the closest. I don't think they have a tricycle in here, do they? Yeah, they do not. Okay, so we'll just do the Cub. Okay, good enough. Flight mode setup, we're gonna set it to switch D. Why not switch A? We don't have landing gear because then I accidentally turn on auto leveling when I'm taking off. It's really annoying. Spoken, this is gonna be where we set up our labels, both visual and audio, okay? We're gonna set this up first for safe on the top, or excuse me, AS3X on the top, because that's the default setting that I'm gonna fly in most of the time. And I would highly encourage you to set up your switches the way I set them up if you're new, because you will get lots of repeat of what I do. If you set it up a different way, then you may end up being on your own for asking questions because I won't set it up that way. It's not to be difficult, it's just because I don't want you guys to have any more trouble than you have to. I have to scroll way down here. We'll pause while we do it. Okay, so AS3X. Now we're gonna set this one to off. That's right, we can set an off condition. Cancel, cancel clears it, and then we'll just scroll in. Remember, this is just a label. It's not actually changing any settings, folks. Oh, by the way, full disclosure, I was having some trouble with my scrolly wheel. I used a Q-tip and alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, cleaned this, scrolled it a bunch while the alcohol was on there, dried it off really good. Works a lot better now, so that's kind of cool. So off is a little bit closer, so we'll just not pause for this. But guys, if you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC and you're just thinking, hey, this guy seems to have a lot of information that might be helpful to me, you're not alone. We help a lot of people and you can be part of the group. All you have to do is click the subscribe button and then choose to click the bell for notifications so you know when new stuff is coming. Cancel, cancel. Now we're gonna type SAFE for sensor assisted flight envelope. That's the auto leveling if you're using a Spectrum receiver that has AS3X and safe. Okay, so now we're gonna scroll this. It's way down here, so we'll pause. Okay, so safe mode. Okay, now remember, just labels, channel assign. I want flaps to be on B, so I'm gonna disassociate aux2 from flaps. Also, I'm gonna disassociate, I'm gonna disassociate flaps. Then I'm gonna disassociate gear. And then I'm gonna leave that as right knob, and I'm just gonna jump on to aux. Well, it doesn't have to be aux4. We could use like this. This is an unpluggable channel, so why don't we use that? aux2 for switch D, or alternately, we could set F mode. We're gonna set it for F mode for flight mode, okay? Now that has to be assigned back to make the different modes change later, but just keep in mind that's gonna be where we're gonna do that. So I'll probably use gear for my thrust reverse. So I'm gonna set that to switch G, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later as well. Right knob is gonna be our master gain, okay? And we'll talk about that a little bit more later too. Model utilities, okay, so we should be telemetry, warnings. Okay, so now we can walk out of the menu. We're gonna set first our throttle cut. Throttle cut's gonna be set to switch H, which is back here. When I've got it toward my belly, it's on. When I've got it away, it's armed. It's dangerous, it can cut your hand. See, it switched it to throttle stick because I still have this highlighted. So I'm gonna go back to switch H. I'm gonna acknowledge my entry by clicking again. And then look, it's on because this stays at -100 regardless of the switch condition or the throttle stick condition. Now when I turn that off, it's live and in charge and ready to rock and roll and chop your fingers. So now it's on, throttle cut's on, okay? Now we're gonna set up flap system. It's gonna be set to switch B, but we're not gonna make any assignments yet because I don't know what direction everything is gonna flow. It might go back, it might go forward. We don't know. We'll find out shortly. And same thing with elevator. There'll be like a 6 and a 10 or something like that. But we are gonna set it to 2 seconds right now while we're thinking. And then we're gonna go into timer and we're gonna set a timer for like, let's say 8 minutes. No, that's a little optimistic. Let's say 6. No, let's just do 5. We'll just leave it at 5. 1 out active. That means once we go over 25%, it's indicated here. It's gonna start counting and it's gonna keep counting until it gets to 1 minute. Then it's gonna give us a voice. And, oh wait, yeah, a voice. And then at 20 seconds, nothing. At 10 seconds, I want a voice countdown, and I want a tone and vibrate at expiration with a tone every minute thereafter. So we always do that the same way. We could bind now, but we're not quite ready because we're gonna set up rates, dual rates and expo. We're gonna be tied to one switch. In my case, you don't have to do it that way, but that's the way I do it. If you're brand new to the hobby, just do it my way. See if it works. If it works good, then you can get the help that we generate on this channel, and then you can modify and kind of walk away from that as soon as you get your feet under you, okay? So this is where you start. It's gonna give you very comfortable sticks. This is gonna give you less sensitive or more softened sticks, and that's about by a factor of double. It's also going to reduce the rates to 90. I like to keep the rates at 100 with a little bit of expo, and then if you want a more touchy, you can go up there. We're going to do the same thing with all three. So the elevator, so we're going to do elevator, and then we're going to do ailerons next. So basically what happens is you end up with a starting point, something to go up to for more sensitive, and something to go down to for less sensitive. And we exercise the switch to select it there, okay? If you guys are concerned about what's going on, once you've done this a couple of times, and truthfully, when you guys follow along on a Brian Phillips RC video and you think, you know, it's kind of a long video, there's a lot of information packed into it, but we do that for a reason, okay? We want you guys to be able to get the most out of these expensive tools that you buy. Throttle cuts on, throttle sticks down, mode is up, which is AS3X. You could put it to off, but it doesn't matter because it's not assigned yet. So we're ready to basically put this in, and we have our contact adhesive is probably about as sticky as it can be. And watch this, we'll literally, now that we know where things are landing, before we stick this in on the side of the plane, we're gonna land our cables, okay? So first things first, we're gonna look at rudder. Rudder is gonna be where? We're gonna scroll over one, it's gonna show us a monitor mode. Rudder is gonna be where? Throttle, rudder, channel 4. So rudder is gonna be channel 4 with the brown going down, okay? So I'll hold it vertical, channel 4, brown going down, okay? I'm gonna pull this tag back just a little bit. Now we're gonna just grab the next one, which is right here. That's gonna be the elevator. Elevator is on what channel? It's on channel 3. So right next to the rudder, brown is down, folks, okay? Then I'm gonna just grab and slide that wire, that sticker back. Okay, what's next? We've got the next one is gonna be this one. It's ailerons. Ailerons channel 2. Remember, the first plug on here is a bind /SRXL2, okay, so that's like a serial communication. Okay, I pushed that back in because I'd pulled it out just a hair. Now flaps are going to go on channel what? 6. 6, nothing on channel 5 because we are going to use that for thrust reverse, but if you had something, you could plug it in there and you could reassign to a higher channel for your thrust reverse, or excuse me, thrust reverse has to be on channel 5 because that's what we're doing. So that means you just plug this yellow one into the top pin because that's your signal line. And then the reference for ground is gonna still be the same, and the power is gonna be the same, so that's why you can do that split cable. This is going on channel 1 for throttle, and you see they share the power and ground, but they have split off for signal, okay? So now I'm gonna turn this plane just a bit. I'm gonna flip this the direction I want, which is gonna be this direction. And since I can, I'm gonna spin it a few times just to make it easy on myself and to get some cable management done. You guys see what I've done there? I've made a nice little tight bundle of joy. Now I'm gonna go a little bit further. And now I want this to fall back, and watch this, how quick and easy, and this is gonna be like seconds of effort. You guys see that, how nice that was? Now look, this antenna, I can slide this back here. Look, it's gonna be gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Now I don't have to worry about chop sueying my antenna. Now, admittedly, I probably do want to put a little bit more glue down there, but guys, look at that. I can literally pick up the plane by the receiver from the China glue. Look at this, okay? I'm not exaggerating. It's just very good stuff. Now, this big bundle is not very pretty, but it is definitely going to hold those cables and keep them out of my rudder assembly. That's the whole reason I did that. I didn't do it because I wanted it to look pretty. I did it because I didn't want them to get bound, okay? So now we should be okay to bind, bind. Sorry, I literally use them back to back. Bind, meaning you set up the receiver and the transmitter to talk to one another and acknowledge each other's existence. And I'm gonna grab a 4S 2200 right here that's just been freshly beeped off of the charger. And we're gonna go ahead and just hold this steady. We're gonna back out of our menu structure by scrolling over. We're gonna throttle cut, throttle stick down. We're gonna be prepared to secure the plane, and we're gonna be ready to bind. Now, binding meaning configuring it to talk to one another. Beautiful lights.
Wow, those are bright.
Love it. Okay, so waiting, trusting. Now, I'm gonna press this button right here. I pressed the button and the camera crew moved as I was pressing it. Okay, then I'm gonna click, I'm gonna scroll down, keep yourself away from the prop. I'm gonna scroll down to bind, disconnect RF, and bind, and my hand is out of the prop.
FMS 22 milliseconds telemetry.
Waiting,
Bind complete.
bind is complete. Auto configuring telemetry. Elevator is not hooked up, ailerons are hooked up, rudder's hooked up, steerable's hooked up. Flaps are not adjusting because I haven't set them, but throttle's all I really care about. Throttle cut is on, throttle is not working, that's perfect. Throttle cut is off, it did not start. And it works, and it's not vibrating. Throttle cut's on and tested. I now trust the plane because I have tested the surfaces that are critical to my health and well-being. So now I'm gonna take the battery out, we're gonna put this tray back in right now, and then we'll pick back up on the radio setup. Now guys, just look how I'm gonna do this. Obviously it's safe to have this up against my belly right now. I wanna make sure this kind of tucks to the side. This goes in, should drop in nicely. Got to double, triple check that I don't hit any of my stuff. I'm not gonna hit any of my stuff that I can tell. Okay, this wire pretty much can come out the center or the side. I'm gonna come out the side because that might give us a little extra reach. And then this is just wood to wood connection. So truthfully, you could put them wherever, but I think I'm hitting the same holes as based on, I can kind of feel them going in really easy, okay? Now, if you wanna make these holes hold up really nicely, you'll take this out, run a little bit of CA into the threads, and then you can make it a threaded hole, and that pocket won't rip out as easy, but it's plywood or basswood probably, and it's not balsa, okay? So there you go. Battery's ready to go. Throttle cut's on. Now we can show you the straps, high quality straps. We're gonna open it up just a hair. If it's hard to load the battery, you won't fly the plane, guys. I know it sounds ridiculous and it's probably not true if you only got one plane, but if you got 400 of them, you're gonna pick the one that's easy to load because you're gonna have a bad experience if it's hard to load. So just keep that in mind and weigh into it. You see, just even without it like tight, it just works, guys. Okay, so I've got that halfway tight, barely even in there. Okay, now I'm pulling this one pretty tight, and look at that. She's holding perfectly, okay? Now, I'm gonna try to keep this lead over here so it's out of our view. Throttle cut's on. We now trust the plane, but I still wanna be careful. I've got my hand here in case it would pull forward. Okay, listening. Respecting the plane. Okay, very good. Listen, throttle cuts on and tested. Very good. Now we trust the plane. So what do? We're gonna turn the plane around so we can check the control surfaces. I gotta say, initially, I was nervous about this with the small box. This thing is light, it's well built, it's an easy build, and it is gorgeous and really good LEDs. Let's finish your radio setup right now, okay? First things first, we're gonna eventually have to put on the elevator because it's not moving. So let's see. Let's just kind of do a process of deduction. If I pull up on the elevator, that's actually reversed. So because I don't have it hooked up yet, I can change that by going to servo setup, travel, scrolling over to reverse, and I can reverse elevator. Now look, now when I pull back on the stick, this should come toward me, and it does. Okay, so perfect. So now throttle cuts on. Verify that a lot when you're new so you don't get cut up. I don't actually know if I need that. I'm just gonna kind of duck down here. Oh, what does the manual suggest? Can you please look?
Elevator on the arm, it's the second hole in from the outside. Are there 4 holes?
Okay, can you please explain that better? Because I don't understand what you mean.
It's the second hole in from the outside.
So the servo or the linkage?
On the arm. Well, it's a ball link, so.
Okay, look, this thing screws in and out, okay? So you gotta get it screwed in or out. Which hole do I put it in? Second in?
Yep.
Okay, then you put it in, okay, and then you spin it. And what you want is you want this part to get collapsed. And you can see we're not gonna be collapsed if I put it on now. So I have to screw this in a few more turns. 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 is probably about right. Nope, too much. Okay, there's 1 half back, 2 halves back. And as you can see, that's pretty dang close. So I'm gonna snap that on by hand. You can use a tool if you want. Let's check the elevator now. Elevator goes up, elevator goes down. Show the people. Look at that. That's getting mighty fine close. You see that problem? Make sure it doesn't get stuck to where it's gonna gouge your foam, okay? Now, my next move is I gotta take this back off the plane stand. So far, the body is strong, even though you remember it's screwed together. And so I don't have any apprehension after having picked it up like that. It's actually really easy to build too. Okay, elevator up, elevator down. Yaw left, yaw right. Check the steerable, it is going the correct direction. Roll left is wrong. So I'm gonna go over to aileron and rotate or reverse. Roll left, roll right, elevator up, elevator down, yaw left, yaw right. Everything's working except for the flaps now. So we're gonna look at the flaps. We're gonna set for takeoff, for takeoff flaps. That's takeoff flaps, that's normal flight. Okay, so I wanna go the other way. So I wanna go positive value here. So we go to 100% and we're not quite all the way parked. So I'm gonna go to servos, setup, and I'm just gonna go right over to flaps and I'm just gonna make this number probably like 125. Yeah, see now we're flush. And it's 115 actually, okay? So takeoff flaps and then there'd be landing flaps. All right, so now I'm gonna go down to flap system. I'm gonna set up the takeoff flaps. Probably that's way too much. Whoops. So I just go like, I would say probably 50, okay? And then I'm gonna give myself about 8. I'm gonna exaggerate that 8 now so you can see what's going on. I'm gonna put it to like 40. See how it goes down? You know it's going down. That's correct for an inboard flap, okay? What you want to do is when you put the flaps down, the plane is gonna wanna nose up and it's gonna wanna climb a little bit. This is gonna help correct for that as the flaps deploy. And it's gonna be timed based on this sequence of timing, okay? Now, obviously 40 is too much. We just did that to show it on camera easily. So I'm gonna go to like, let's go to like 6 and for landing flaps, okay, I gotta make sure we're not gonna overdrive our servos. Oh man, you can barn door this thing. Look at that.
Wow.
That is awesome. And by the way, you can go further than that, but I'm actually gonna back it off because that's just nuts. I almost feel like that, like minus 35 is about right for like barn doors. So there's barn doors, guys. Might even be too much, to be honest. And then I wanna set my flap correction for like 12. Normally it'd be like about 2/3 on the elevator correction for takeoff flaps and about 3/4, or excuse me, 2/3 of the full landing flap. In this case, I'm gonna do more because there's a bigger disparity here. That's a lot of landing flap. In fact, it's too much. Okay, so look at this. I'm gonna bring that back a little bit. I'm gonna go to like 25. Minus 25, 50, and 100, okay? So takeoff flaps here, landing flaps there, and they're still barn doors. Awesome. So we've got more to work with. Elevator up, down, roll left, roll right, yaw left, yaw right. Everything's working up to and including throttle. So now we just need to set up AS3X and safe. It's that easy, guys. And we will walk you through that on just about any plane you get. We'll set it up on this one with AS3X and safe, and then occasionally we'll set them up with a reflex. And so if you're curious about this plane and you've gotten yourself a reflex and you want to see how to do it, just find a plane that's got inboard flaps and fixed gear and just follow along. It's going to be super similar with the exception of the possibility of having a little bit different setup for thrust reverse and things like that. Okay, so let's talk about thrust reverse before we do AS3X. Nope, you were on the right side. So click. What I want to do is I want to just, first of all, I want to check my switch. My switch is going forward, throttle cuts on, no change in condition, throttle cuts off. That is reverse thrust already, okay? There's forward thrust and still forward thrust. So pulled back toward me, there's reverse thrust. Throttle cuts on, we've now tested it, we know it's safe, okay. So we can go over to the monitor and we can say, in this mode, on gear, okay, gear is here, 100 is reverse thrust. That is forward thrust and forward thrust. So all we have to do is you can either reverse the switch, which is the lazy way, or you can go to digital switch setup. You can select switch G. On this, you want it to be minus 100 because I want my forward to be forward, okay? Oh wait, am I going to forward? No, I want to go to minus 100. Okay, so minus 100 here, and then you're gonna set this one to plus 100. That's gonna give you reverse thrust. And it's controllable. And then this one here, we gotta scroll all the way through the range and then all the way back out. Now, why do I not just reverse the channel? You could hypothetically do that, but then you float in the middle condition and that causes the potential for dangerous, okay? So forward thrust, reverse thrust, reverse thrust. Walking out of the menu, now we're gonna test, throttle cuts off, a little bit of forward thrust. As you can see, it's blowing out my shirt, you can probably hear it. Reverse thrust and reverse thrust, and then back to forward thrust, throttle cuts on, sticks down, that's set, okay? Simple as that. Just keep in mind, reflex is not necessarily, excuse me, this is not flashing. This is flashing. That one is solid. Why are the wingtip lights? These are not the right way. Dang it, I wish I would have noticed that. I'd rather have solid green, solid red, and then flashing white. This one I want solid too. So we may have to fiddlesticks with that around. I like the anti-crash beacon being on the top. And then obviously, they are nice, very bright lights. So that's definitely good. But I want my forward-facing white light. I want my solid, these should be strobes. The green and red should be solid in my opinion. And FMS does this a lot on their planes. They do flashing colored lights. Nav lights are solid, guys. Nav lights are nav lights. Here's why. Because nav lights tell you where you are in time and space, and we are watching a remote controlled vehicle. That stuff just drives me nuts, guys. So I'll tell you about it and tell you how to fix it if you want. There's a mixing board in here. It's not gonna be easy to fix. I'm probably gonna leave it. But there is that little pluggy doohickey, and you can switch around the ones that are flashing and ones that aren't. I'll probably fly it stock so you guys can see what it's like. All right, so now forward programming. You're like, what the heck is forward programming? That's where we're gonna set up our gyro settings, first time setup. Make sure all the crap is set right, otherwise it won't do it, okay? Set the model level.
See your screen.
Set the model level and continue. Put it on its nose and continue. Okay, so I'm gonna do that now, which means I have to pick up the plane, so we gotta be careful. I'm gonna let the spinner bear the weight. Remember, I broke the spinner when I tried to take it apart. Continue. It learned the orientation. Look at that, orientation 4. Okay, watch yourself. Okay, I'm gonna put this back down. I'm gonna switch to the corner so the camera crew can see a little bit better. All right, so we're gonna continue, gain channel. This is where we're gonna use the right knob. It's already indicated for you here, so I'm gonna click and scroll over to that one. And then I'm gonna apply, it's gonna reboot. I'm gonna hold the plane just in case it starts. Every once in a while we get one that the prop will kick a couple of times, but it's unusual still. Okay, we have one dance. That's AS3X only. Okay, so now I'm going back into forward programming, gyro settings, AS3X settings. I'm gonna set this to 4 times. That's gonna give us the most movement so we can really see if it's working right. Flight mode setup. Now we need to set up the flight mode channel, and it's inhibited currently because we never set it. It's gonna go to aux2. As you can see, it's already showing us what it is. See, pretty cool, huh? So we want this to work, AS3X active. We want this one to be off. And on this one, we want AS3X active. And that's also gonna allow us to use safe and AS3X together. Then system setup. You can relearn servo setup if you make a change. You can do the orientation thing we already did and the gain channel select, okay? Or you can go into system setup and do a bunch of resets under the utilities, but we're just gonna go to first time safe setup and get that turned on, okay? Before setting up, just go into this menu, make sure it picks the correct one. It should automatically populate that and then hit continue. Now, I want safe on this one. Whoops, sorry guys. Continue. I want it on flight mode 3. I want it when this is down. I hit next, next. Okay, very good. So level, model, and capture attitude. See, because we mounted it where we mounted it, it's not gonna be totally true. And now it just corrected for that, okay? Now in this one, I want safe to be set to self level and angle demand. And these are the limits of the pitch and roll. I'm gonna set them all to 60 because that just lets you go a little bit more downhill, a little bit more uphill, and then bank to the sides. If you have this set too shallow, what happens is your turns get really wide, okay? If you're a brand new pilot, you might need them to be a little bit wider. But the truth is, guess what wide turns end up? They end up in trees, okay? So now watch what, when I go to this middle mode, it's off. When I go to this, it's off, and we're just referring to safe here, okay? Very good. So now we're gonna click next, and we're gonna apply. Again, same thing, we're gonna hold the plane while it reboots the receiver. Remember, it's committing these things to memory. 1 dance, 2 dances. Now AS3X and safe are both active, but safe is currently turned on, and we're gonna talk about that next. How do you check if it's working?
3x mode.
Okay, throttle cuts on. I'm gonna hold the plane, shut it off, and I'm gonna give some throttle. Anything over 25% will do. Throttle cuts back on, and this thing is already working. I have a gain channel here. Why are you going back? All the way up versus all the way down. All the way up versus off. All the way up, okay? See how that works? So watch this. I'm gonna move the plane. Look at the aileron. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, it's gonna go up. Now watch the rudder. It's gonna go towards you, it's gonna go away from you. It's gonna go towards you, it's gonna go away from you. Watch the elevator. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. Now I'm gonna dance the plane. You see it? It's hard to hear because it's quiet, which is good. So I'm gonna try to make it dance. You guys hear it moving? Off. On, off, okay? Now, in safe, it's gonna also add the auto leveling, so it's gonna try to find the quickest route to level, and then look at the elevator, it's trying to find the level. Now we're at level, okay? And the ailerons are level. Now let's say you bank, now it's not only gonna do AS3X, but it's also going to automatically level when you let go of the sticks, okay? So the rudder is working, all that stuff is working, which is super fancy, and I also noticed something. My wing strut popped out when I was holding it, so just be careful that you use special care to not let those pop out on accident. Okay, I'm gonna go back to AS3X. Now, here's the last thing you need to check. Obviously, we've checked the direction of all the correction, so when this comes toward me, that means it's correcting the right way. Now I'm gonna adjust the master gain by turning this. I'm gonna just lay this down. Now watch this. All the way up, all the way down, halfway, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, off, on. You guys see how that works? So check your surfaces, make sure the direction of travel's right, then jump back into forward programming and change your 4X back to probably 1X to start, okay? If you need this gain all the way up, then that would be half of 2X. If you wanted it 90%, then it's gonna be like 45% for 2X. You guys follow? But if you don't have enough, even when you go to 2X, then you can go to 4X, and you're gonna have basically the same at the quarter quadrant there, okay? So quarter, half, 3/4, all the way up. Make sense? I like to navigate this to the center roughly, because then when I go from this model to the next model to the next model that are all plug and plays that happen to have AS3X and safe, I have my gains generally in the middle. You can also go back and relearn your position once you've figured it out and then disassociate the adjustability, but I wouldn't do that. I'm gonna leave it adjustable. All right, guys, that is basically the entire radio setup here on Brian Phillips RC, the Cessna 182 from FMS, all new and coming to you early on Brian Phillips RC because we love to bring you the latest and greatest content in RC. If you guys want to help support Brian Phillips RC, the easiest way you can support us is smash the like button right now. Click the bell for notifications while subscribing. But if you want to help support us financially, you can buy planes when you see planes. You can buy batteries, you can buy transmitters, receivers, or combinations therein. And when you buy from the links, we get small commissions from the companies that we work with. That doesn't mean that we're going to sell you something that's garbage. Because I don't care if you buy this or you buy that, or you buy that, or you buy that, or you buy that. We don't care which one you buy as long as it's a right plane for you and you're not getting more plane than you can handle when you're brand new, because that is a big mistake to make and it's gonna make you into what we call a one and done, and that's when you get an F-86 like that one back there and you go kerplat on the maiden and you're gonna wish you never started the hobby and you're gonna quit. We don't want you to quit because we know how hard it is to actually get into this hobby. It is hard to learn to fly, okay? But it is one of the most immersive and wonderful RC experiences you can have. And I've done cars, trains, quads, VTOLs, helicopters, all this stuff. And I just love fixed wing, okay? Boats, submarines, all sorts of stuff, guys. And we're gonna keep doing them. But at the end of the day, fixed wing is where it's at for me, okay? I love scale, I love fixed wing, I love general aviation. So we're gonna bring it to you here first on Brian Phillips RC by any means possible. She's counting down my timer. And by the way, we got another timer about to go off. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll do our best to get to them as soon as possible, but just keep in mind, we're gonna be at null when this video is publishing or getting ready to actually get on an airplane. So if you don't see us responding, don't be surprised. You might see us in person and you can ask some questions. Okay, alternative ways to help support us. We have YouTube super thanks, one-time donations that way. We have PayPal, Patreon, and well, PayPal would be one-time donations. Well, PayPal would be monthly support, and then YouTube members also monthly support. So there's 4 other ways, but really the best and most wholesome, wonderful, perfect way, huge way would be to buy an amazing plane like this. And I am very excited to fly this. By the way, CG is marked on the wings, the only thing we didn't talk about. And the reason we didn't talk about it is because it's literally marked on the wing, but we're gonna do it right now. You put your finger on the CG and you stick a 2200 4S and it balances perfectly. That's why we like this plane, because I'm telling you, we wouldn't even be done building the fuse on the Skytrainer 182, okay? Or I forget what they called it, but the Skytrainer was like smaller, it was more stout, it didn't have the scale lines that this does. Still a beautiful plane, admittedly, but this thing is where it's at. It is very nice looking.
Yeah.
It is big, but it is still light on its feet. Definitely not sub 250 by any means, but I gotta say, beautiful, beautiful plane. And I can't wait to fly it right here on Brian Phillips RC. So if you guys are watching this, you're like, what? I watched this whole video and then you didn't fly it? Yes, of course we did. The maidens are released before this, or this is released maybe a minute or so before. So if you're looking for this video, all you need to do is look for the playlist, which should be populating the screen here anytime soon. And then you can go right to the maiden flights. The only time we deviate from that is if it's a second thoughts or we're doing a modification. Sometimes we don't always 100% come back to every detail. Okay, hopefully we answered all your questions and more. We got safe, we got AS3X, we got direction of travel. We got the radio installation physically. We've got the tray installation. We've got the build on the video. We've got everything about the rock hard, diamond hardened tires. We got everything about the beautiful cracking nose cone and how to fix it, by the way. So if you guys want to help support us, like I said, we asked this 2 or 3 times already. And that's the truth. If you want to get this plane for yourself, check it out from the links in the video description below. But like I said earlier also, if you want to get this F7F, also an amazing plane. If you want to get this Micro Draco, if you want to get this SR-71, I don't care which one you want as long as you want it. A lot of people on YouTube are going to try to talk you into the latest and greatest just because. We don't care if you get the latest and greatest or if you're watching this in 7 years. If this meets your fancy, we're here to help you set it up and get the most out of it on Brian Phillips RC. So we hope you guys appreciate that and reciprocate the favor. Thanks for watching. There's so much more right around the corner. If we didn't see you at Joe Nall in 2024, maybe we'll see you next year, but we would love to see you. And if you're watching this right now and it's live, then that means we'll probably be seeing some of you tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday, depends on when our flight gets in, because we're gonna be getting in on Tuesday afternoon, and we have to get a rental car and get checked in the hotel, that sort of stuff. So we should be actually at the event all day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into Saturday, and then of course we fly out again, so we'll have to leave a little bit early on Saturday. And that's a wind down date. So if you guys got like a jet turbine you want me to fly, or some cool big plane, or you just wanna hang out, or you want me to fly your Aero Scout, I don't care. We wanna see you, and we wanna fly with a few of you as well. So it'll be super fun for us. Hopefully it'll be fun for you, and you'll find out that I really do talk like this all the time. So we hope to see you there. And by the way, thanks so much for being here with us. Thanks for helping make Brian Phillips RC a real destination for RC lovers like you. So stay tuned, so much more right around the corner from Brian Phillips RC.